Welcome to Game, your home for exceptional adventures. I am the Game Master, and in today's video, we're going to look at the best Nintendo games of all time. Now, Nintendo has been around since 1989, so their catalog is quite massive. While this list is a compilation of all of our favorites, there are a ton of amazing quality games to find on any of Nintendo's many devices. So, feel free to check out some of our other top 10 videos and more on our channel. If you're interested in taking a look at some of our other media-based projects, you can check us out over at AspireIntegratedMedia.com. So here's our list of the top 10 best games from the entire catalog of Nintendo games, starting from number 10 to 1, with 1 being the best on our list. At number 10, we have kind of a little cheat, but we're going to include Pokemon Red and Blue in this category. And really, what adult born in the 90s haven't heard of Pokemon? Pokemon was released in North America in 1996, encouraging all of us to catch them all. Pokemon has since grown into a phenomenon, releasing a staggering 122 games total, including both their mainline and spin-off titles. Many will remember the catchy theme song to this day with fond nostalgic memories of a simpler time. The gameplay consists of the player character receiving a starter Pokemon, then battling their rival and setting out to beat the Pokemon League while attempting to catch all the Pokemon they come in contact with. If somehow you were living under a rock and haven't had a chance yet to try Pokemon, a great starting place is the new Pokemon Legends Arceus game, which is out now for the Nintendo Switch. At number 9, we have The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. And this is an action-adventure game developed and published by Nintendo for the N64. It was released in Japan and North America in '98, and Ocarina is the first in the series with 3D graphics. Ocarina of Time received widespread acclaim from critics and consumers alike, and won several awards and accolades who praised its visuals, sound, gameplay, soundtrack, and its impressive writing. It's been ranked by numerous publications as one of the greatest video games of all time, and is the highest rated game of all time on Metacritic. It was commercially successful with more than 7 million copies sold worldwide, and is available now on Nintendo Switch via its expansion package to its online component. Up next, we have GoldenEye 007, and GoldenEye has the distinct privilege of being one of the few movie tie-ins that actually turned out good. Most movie games suck, and this is the game that started it all for console players when it comes to multiplayer. The game was released in '97 on the N64 and introduced console players to competitive shooters. Its levels are ripped straight out of the then popular GoldenEye movie and had multiple difficulty levels for players to complete, leading to endless replays. It's hard to think that as popular as the multiplayer mode was, players almost never got to see it as it was tacked on merely at the last minute. This game is a great callback to the days when gaming was just beginning to find its footing. If you have an old N64 around, give it a shot, and hopefully the rumored remaster actually ends up happening. At number 7, we have Super Metroid. And Super Metroid was released for the Super Nintendo in '94, and Super Metroid received acclaim upon its release with praise for its atmosphere, gameplay, music, and its graphics. It's since gone on to become a fan favorite game amongst the speedrunning gaming community, and it features one of the best female main characters ever created in the form of Samus Aran. Following the established gameplay model of its predecessor, Super Metroid focused on exploration, with the player searching for power-ups used to reach previously inaccessible areas. It introduced new concepts to the series, such as the inventory screen, an auto map, and the ability to fire in multiple directions. Super Metroid is a fun game to return to, even after all of these years. At number 6, we have Star Fox 64. And Star Fox was released on the N64 in '97 and is technically the third Star Fox game, but acts as a reboot to the original series. The game's a lot of fun to play through. The movement of your R-Wing feels natural as you either gently descend to collect power-ups or spin frantically to deflect fire. There's an epic feel to the game as you work through the missions, and the battling varies depending upon the situation. The lock-on feature of your lasers is extremely useful for getting rid of enemies, but if there are a lot of them, it's easier to just blast them away or use bombs wisely. There are a few different paths through the system, and how you do on a mission affects where you end up next. There's a variety of planets to visit and space battles too. Sometimes you'll end up dogfighting with enemies, including the entire Star Wolf team, and other times you'll end up picking off waves and waves of attackers and weaving between obstacles. Star Fox was recently added to the Switch via its online expansion pack. If you're looking at playing it today, I highly recommend it. At number 5, we have Fire Emblem Awakening. And Awakening is a tactical RPG released for the Nintendo 3DS in 2013. Until Fire Emblem Three Houses was released in 2020, Awakening was considered the best of the Fire Emblem series. On release, the game received critical acclaim and achieved strong sales worldwide, with many critics praising its new additions to traditional gameplay and accessibility to newcomers of the series. After its release, the game was nominated for multiple awards from video game publications, often being cited as one of the best games on the 3DS platform. Awakening uses a turn-based battle system. The terrain is displayed on the top screen of the 3DS, while unit information is displayed on the bottom screen. Before every single battle, the player can select a limited number of characters from their roster, including their created character, for use in battle. The player can either control each unit manually or activate an auto battle option. Unfortunately, Awakening can only be played right now if you have a 3DS lying around somewhere. Here's hoping that Nintendo will eventually add it to the Switch via backwards compatibility. Up next, we have Pikmin 2. And Pikmin 2 is a puzzle strategy game developed and published by Nintendo in 2004 for the GameCube. It's the direct sequel to the 2001 Pikmin and is the second game in the series. And like its predecessor, Pikmin focuses on exploring the surface of an unknown planet from a microscopic perspective. The player gets to direct and delegate tasks to a horde of tiny plant-like creatures called Pikmin. The Pikmin can be directed to destroy obstacles, defeat enemies, and retrieve objects. It introduces many gameplay mechanics not seen in the first Pikmin, including the ability to control two different leaders of the Pikmin at once, and the addition of new types of Pikmin. The game received critical acclaim for its innovation on gameplay and its unique premise. It's a beautiful game that will keep you thinking on and on. At number 3, we have Mario Kart 64. And Mario Kart 64 was released in '97 for the N64. And for many gamers, it is a reminder of simpler times when gaming. Couch co-op, pizza, soda, and friends, really. The N64 took the multiplayer world by storm with its unique co-op and PvP modes. Changes from its original form on Super Nintendo included the move to a polygon-based true 3D graphics for its track design, and the inclusion of 4-player support with its multiplayer mode. Players take control of characters from the Mario franchise who race around a variety of tracks with items that can either harm opponents or aid the user. The move to 3D allowed for track features not possible with the original title. The game was commercially successful and generally praised for the fun and high replay value of its multiplayer modes, and is available to play now on Nintendo Switch via its online expansion pack. At number 2, we have Gauntlet Legends, and Gauntlet Legends is the couch co-op game. It revolves around a story where a corrupt mage named Garm uses a set of rune stones to summon a demon named Scorn. However, Scorn crushes Garm and imprisons his soul in the underworld. From there, the 4 companions are tasked with freeing him and finding all of the 4 keys, which will allow them to access the temple and be able to banish Scorn to the underworld. Seems kind of generic, and by today's standard it is. But back in 1999, Gauntlet Legends was one of the mainstays of many game nights for millennials. It supported 4-player co-op with 4 separate classes for each person to choose from and fight waves and waves of enemies together with. This is personally a favorite of mine and is a must-play for any player who missed out on its joy way back in 1999. And finally, at number 1, we have Smash Bros. Melee. One of the best versions of the Smash games is Melee. It's also one of the best party games to play with your friends. Melee was released in 2001 for the GameCube and includes all of the playable characters from the first game, and begins the tradition of adding characters from additional franchises such as Fire Emblem, of which at the time no games had been released outside of Japan. In addition to new stages and gameplay modes, Smash Bros. Was different than other games in the series. Like other games though, Melee's gameplay system offers an unorthodox approach to the fighting game genre, with a counter that measures damage with increasing percentages, representing the knockback the character will experience, rather than a depleting health bar that is seen in most of modern fighting games. Many consider Melee to be the best in the series, and as it sits at number 1 on our list, we highly agree. And that's it, y'all. These are our top 10 Nintendo games of all time. So what are your favorite Nintendo games? I'm sure many of you have different opinions, and we want to hear that. We hope that you enjoyed today's video, and as always, please subscribe and hit that notification bell to be notified every time we release a new video here on Game. Have an amazing day, and remember to have an exceptional adventure today, whether it's in your game or more importantly in your life. Enjoy, have fun.